My name is River. I live completely off-grid, no electricity, no running water, in a 19-foot yurt, and I don't know the size, but a abandoned cabin in the Pacific Northwest. I was very fortunate to receive a bunch of Christmas gifts early from my family since I will not be meeting up with them for Christmas this year. I can't really leave my buildings for that long, and I need to work, but anyway, I got some amazing gifts from my family, and I made some end of the year purchases for myself to improve my off-grid life, and I thought I would share them all with you. All right, I'm gonna take you back to working outfit River. Now I'm going to go over the absolute haul of incredible off-grid gifts that I was given. And I also just want to say that I know I am completely spoiled to have been given all of these things. I knew that my parents were bringing me over some kindling, but I didn't think that they were bringing me over this many things, and I'm super, super, super grateful. While also reminding anyone new, because I get comments like this on every video, I do not live on my parents' property. My parents do not fund my lifestyle. I am a independent, off-grid person who pays rent on my friend's family's farm and pays for all of these renovations and whatnot myself. So I am very privileged, but I am not a off-grid Nepo baby, okay? All right, let's go over some of these amazing gifts. Brought me another broom after I complained about my retractable broom. Didn't wish it upon anyone else. I got in the RV camping section that's at the Yurt totally sucking, so now I have another broom that works, which is awesome. Brought me these cool little water containers. My dad works at a water treatment plant, and I guess that they're sort of like extra from that. An absolute mother load of kindling, but you're not gonna believe this. There's actually 3 more crates like this full of kindling over at the Yurt. I do have a decent amount of those cedar shingles I've been using for kindling, but this is now like enough kindling to last me easily the entire winter and maybe beyond, which is such an amazing gift. And I can only imagine how long it took my dad to cut all of this. So I'm super, super grateful for that. I want to say that the kindling is all cedar, and it's only been in the cabin for a couple days, and already the cabin smells like cedar, which is one of my favorite smells in the whole world. And if you are, been with me on this journey, you know that I've been on a quest to try to get this cabin to stop smelling like old abandoned cabin. So even just the smell factor of this kindling is worth its weight in gold, let alone the convenience of having a bunch of dry chopped kindling. This is a bag of tools, including different pliers, wrenches, screwdrivers, manual tools, which is really helpful. You guys have probably heard me complain before that I lost most of my tools in my divorce. Also got these lights, which are battery powered and motion censored. I haven't put them up yet. Seems pretty cool. Could put them on the porch or something. A stove mitt for picking up hot things, including logs or, pots that are hot, whatever. Extremely helpful. I needed one of these. Also got these vintage leather work gloves. They fit like a glove. There's a couple tiny holes on the seams, but I'm hoping I can repair that. I have some leather needles somewhere, and if not, I'll get some more because these are really, really cool. This is a box of various fasteners. This is another beautiful custom carrying thing, toolbox, wood carrying thing, whatever it needs to be. I have another one that I've shown you guys that's over at the Yurt that I absolutely love. So having one for the cabin too is awesome. I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to use it for. I'll probably use it for wood again. It is like so nice that I almost feel bad using it for wood because it'll get a little beat up. But at the same time, I'm all about utility here. And yeah, this is freaking beautiful. And a beaver ate the end of this, so it's got beaver energy, which I love beavers. This right here is a real gem. My dad found some vintage pruners and sharpened them and put a paracord handle grip on there. I was using really crappy pruners from Grocery Outlet, I think. So this is awesome. I'm gonna go use these right now to cut the blackberry away from the woodpile area. And as y'all know, I'm planning to put in a food garden as well as grow herbs and whatnot and flowers around the cabin. So it will be awesome to have a super nice pair of pruners. Really happy about that. Really cool gift. Another tool bag with a bunch of zip ties, tape, extra work gloves. I don't even know what this is. Some kind of wire cutter. My mom got me a box of candles, 24 hand-dipped beeswax candles. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. Wow, that's so nice. As y'all may know, my light for both the yurt and the cabin, since I don't have electricity, is mainly taper candles and then my lanterns that are battery powered. And taper candles, more than any other candle, create the most light. So having 24 hand-dipped beeswax candles is freaking awesome and will probably last me maybe through the winter, depending on how much I'm using them. The lanterns are almost too bright sometimes, so especially when I'm trying to go to bed or trying to relax, taper candles are the way to go. The difference in smell between this main room that I've been cleaning and has the cedar in it versus the back room, which is still really gross, is noticeable. And I think that having this curtain up helps kind of contain that area as well. Another really awesome thing that I asked for are these mini fire extinguishers. They got me a full-size one and 2 mini ones, so I can have one in each building, and I think I'll probably keep the big one here as well. Obviously, I am taking every precaution I can to make sure my fires never get out of control, but I've definitely laid awake at night a couple nights thinking about how, you know, if I'm asleep and an ember escapes the fire and everything started to catch on fire, what would I do? Obviously, fire extinguisher is the way to go. I haven't had one so far. They're kind of expensive, so I really appreciate that gift as well. I also got some Christmas gifts for myself. Not really Christmas gifts, but you know, 'tis the season where you can write things off at the end of the year before your taxes are rounded up, and I'm self-employed as well as regular employed, so that's something I'm always thinking about. And there were quite a few things that I've been putting off buying that I decided to buy over Black Friday when there were some really good deals. One of them are these extra tough rain boots. This cute design was on sale and I like the colors, so that was a no-brainer. I can easily slip them on and off. These bad boys are all weather. I've been living in Western Washington for over 10 years and I did not have any real rain boots that entire time. I also didn't even have a rain jacket until last year. I've always just been someone who is not willing to spend money on things that I think are ugly, I guess. Like, I also tried to buy a couple vintage rain jackets and none of them were working, but anyway, it's incredibly muddy pretty much everywhere. Check this out. Mud, it's all mud, 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 mud. It's incredibly muddy everywhere on the property right now, so being able to just slip in and out of a pair of mud-proof rain boots is huge. Extra Toughs are pretty expensive, so I've been putting that off, and getting them on sale was awesome, and I'm pretty much going to wear these every single day, except for when I'm going to work, because I have to wear black shoes at work. But yeah, pretty much going to wear these constantly, and they've already made my life way easier. It's also made it easier for me to take my shoes off when I'm coming in and out of the yurt, which I know I need to do. I don't want to track dirt into my yurt, but previously my waterproof shoes were all lace-up shoes, and it's really annoying to lace and unlace your shoes to like go in and grab a camera really quick or whatever. But since these just slip on and off super easily, that's just been a huge life hack for me. The next thing that I got myself that I am so excited to show y'all because it's gonna affect the channel is a new camera. I had been using a very old Canon Rebel, which is the cheapest Canon in the line of Canons, and I had some decent lenses for it, but I've been making that work for the past 5 years. As a professional photographer, videographer, I do photography and videography for money as a side hustle, mostly dance related, and it had a lot of limitations in terms of the autofocus basically didn't work, so I had to only use manual focus, which if you do camera stuff, you know that totally sucks. It did make me really good at manual focusing, which is its own blessing, but yeah, and that camera also basically couldn't do anything in low light at all. This camera that I'm filming on right now is like a little handheld vlogging camera, and that's what I've been using for these videos. I used my old camera like one time for the chaotic fall projects video, and I had a really fun time using my real camera along with the vlogging camera, and then the SD card I was using got stuck in it, and I was able to extract the SD card. It was like half broken, but I was able to get it to work, but in the process of getting it out, it broke the SD card reader on the camera, and now the camera won't even turn on. I wasn't planning to get a new camera. I had already researched which camera I was getting next, but I was going to wait to do that until I had all of the money in cash. I ended up deciding to put half of this guy on my credit card because I have photography and videography gigs that I need a camera for, and the other half of it I paid for with ad money from YouTube from last month. Last month was the first month that I was monetized. I made $900, which is incredible. I did not expect to even make $300 in my first month monetized on YouTube, especially like a small channel without a ton of views. I was just completely floored to make that much money. This camera is refurbished, and it's the older version. This is the Canon EOS R6. They just came out with the Mark III, which is like the new version. This is the Mark II, and it was refurbished. It's not brand new, so it was less than $2,000, whereas the new ones are like $3,000. Right now it just has the kit lens, which is 24 to 105 millimeters, which basically allows me to zoom in on things. Eventually I really want to get the 50 millimeter pancake lens because that's the type of lens that I love the most. I love the bokeh blur background effect, but I'm still just super, super happy to have this guy. I used it to do some dance shoots last weekend. It worked incredibly. The autofocus is incredible. I should be able to shoot the stars and show y'all the stars and the moon, which is so exciting. As a artist who uses photography and videography in my mediums, as someone who is trying to make YouTube, maybe eventually my full-time job or just my main source of income, that would be amazing. Having a new camera is a huge step up, and I should have the rest of it paid off by the end of this month. It was worth it to get this camera now so that I can continue to do my paid work involving camera stuff, and it'll be paid off really soon. And thank y'all so much for watching my videos and for watching the annoying ads, or if you have YouTube Premium, not watching the ads but paying for YouTube Premium that paid for half of this camera. I'm so incredibly grateful and honestly just like floored and shocked that so many people have been watching my videos. Let's walk over to the yurt so I can show you the last couple things, because there's another couple significant things. And yeah, don't worry, I'm basically never going to spend money again after draining my wallet for these upgrades. As someone who tries to live really frugally and has also had sort of like mild shopping addictions in the past, what's really important to me is that I think about my purchases for a very long time. All of these things I got, the camera, the boots, the other thing I'm about to show you, I thought about for months, and I thought about how it would improve my life and the cost of it, and I waited for it to go on sale. So I feel very good about these purchases. They're not like impulse buys that I bought just because it was Black Friday sale. Okay, I am back at the yurt. I have a couple more things to show you, both things that my parents gave me and a couple things that I got. Actually, just one thing that I got is even more kindling that specifically has been dipped in paraffin wax so that it will pretty much light on fire instantly. And they also brought me some creosote remover, which I burn in the fireplace once a month to help keep creosote from building up, which can cause fires. I'm definitely not trying to use a paraffin-soaked kindling for every fire. It's really not necessary, especially when I now have so much kindling and I also have that blowtorch. But very nice to have, especially just like, it hasn't been that cold recently. Like, it's 54 degrees today, which is quite warm, but I know it's gonna get colder, especially in like January, February. Last cool off-grid gift I got from my parents is this little propane heater. It runs off of these cans like I use for my little like instant boil stove thing. I also got more of these cans from them, which is really nice. And my final present to myself is I got the Jackery Explorer 1000 watt battery bank. Y'all have been watching the channel. I have put out a call to Jackery to sponsor me multiple times. I think my channel is too small. I'm still happy for them to sponsor me, or any other of the main battery bank companies that are reliable. Yeah, I didn't get the solar extension, which is like another $200 to have it charged solarly. I will probably get that in the summer when there's more sun. If they want to send me one, that would be great. Right now, it just charges by me plugging it into an outlet and then it just draws power into itself. I've only used it so far to charge my phone. I just brought this back to the Yurt yesterday, 2 days ago. My laptop is dying, and normally that would mean I would have to stop editing, but I just plugged it in to the battery for the first time, and it's definitely sucking more energy than charging my phone, which makes sense, but I still have 96% battery after using this to charge some cameras and my phone for a couple of days, and it feels like absolute magic and just complete glamping that I'm able to charge my laptop in my Yurt right now. That's amazing. I had a very, very small battery bank, like a little tiny battery that held one charge for my phone that I had used for over 5 years. I've had it since forever. I think I got it for a trip where I was traveling a very, very long time ago, and I've been using that ever since, and it finally broke. The connector piece that plugged it in just snapped off. This is kind of huge for me, especially because with my ADHD, it is hard for me to keep all of my camera batteries charged, even though it's really nice that Jai and Mackenzie, who live on the property, have allowed me to use their shop to charge stuff, since the chicken coop can be a little bit wet, a little bit sus for putting expensive electronics to charge. That's where I normally charge stuff in the winter. But, you know, walking back and forth, remembering what I've charged, what I haven't charged, and being able to charge all of my stuff at my own place is super nice. And when I finally get the cabin in better shape, I'm gonna use it to power my sewing machine. The only appliances that I miss from having electricity are sewing machine, immersion blender, which I brought back from my friend, so I'm gonna be able to use that too to make soups and sauces and stuff, and record player, which I'm gonna need to get another one. Me and my ex had a 1970s vintage record player with all these speakers and all this stuff. I've had my friend who has a record player is holding on to my records, and I definitely want to bring those over to the cabin. I need to get a very small record player that has its own speakers. It's not gonna be the best, you know, sound quality, but just something I can play records off of, and I'll be able to use the Jackery Explorer for all of that. This is not sponsored. Again, if they want to sponsor me, they totally can, and Romeo will say thank you. The other gift I got from my little sister, she had this shipped to me, is a vintage wash basin. Well, what do they call these? I guess it would be I want to just say bowl and pitcher. What is the words for this? A ewer? Anyway, before indoor plumbing, people would use these, basically a big bowl with a pitcher, to like wash their hands and their faces inside without making a big mess. And I asked my little sister for one of these because she asked me what I wanted for Christmas, and she got this sent to me. It was from England. It's beautiful, it's pretty sturdy, and I've been using it every day. So yeah, like I said, I am super, super grateful for these gifts. It's been hard for me to explain to people since I moved into this 19-foot across Yurt that I basically don't have room for anything unless it is a practical gift. I can't really take on any more clothes, any more decorations, any more home goods unless it's candles. Just having my dad watch my videos and figure out what he thought I needed and bring me a bunch of stuff is super heartwarming and sweet. Really appreciate it. All of these things are going to make a big difference in my life. And then the gifts I got myself of the extra tufts, the camera, and the Jackery are also going to make a huge difference in my life. So it just feels like a big end of the year upgrade in the off-grid saga. And I am proud of myself for going the last 6 months without having a battery bank and just roughing it, because now I'm going to appreciate it so much. And obviously, you know, I was paying off debt and saving money and all that stuff leading up to now. And I got a really, really good deal on it because of Black Friday. And I also did buy one of the older versions, which is one of my life hacks for when you're buying expensive electronics, is if you can buy the version that's just one older, usually it's still going to be pretty comparable to whatever the latest version is, but you'll get a better deal. Thank you so much for watching. And if you want to support Romeo and I, my Patreon link is in the bio. I've been sharing the videos a couple days early over there, and I've been doing some bonus content. I would really like to quit my restaurant job because it's really hard having 3 jobs, and I do consider YouTube to be a job, especially after making $900 last month. That's about as much as I made at my restaurant job, a little bit less than that. But anyway, I would really like to quit that job so that I can treat this even more like a job and also still have some free time. But it's okay. We're in a hustle era. It's all good. I really want to go back, and I made about 25 videos, full-length videos, before I moved off grid that were on my channel. I chose to delete almost all of them permanently off the channel when I got the notification that my channel was about to be monetized and that they were going to review all of my videos. I was in the middle of having my Yurt tour video blow up. And I was just reading online that if you have a bunch of videos that need to be reviewed, it could take up to a month. So I decided to delete almost all of them. Also, I was using a different name back then, and I really didn't want to have it be confusing or to have people start using my old name just because it was in the old videos. And then I found out recently that you can actually edit YouTube videos after they've been posted to, like, just to take out the intro, so that's not a thing, but it's okay. A lot of those 25 videos were not very good because they're too long. Like, I hadn't yet learned how to be concise and keep the plot moving and to not leave in everything. So I am going to edit out the intro on 2 of the videos that I thought were actually worth keeping up that I didn't fully delete. They're just on private, and put them back up. So if you do want to watch me do some herbalism stuff from before I moved out of the city, that'll be up. But the other videos, including this wild trip I had to Denali National Park that I mentioned earlier, stuff about my old garden, I am going to re-edit them and slowly upload them to be for patrons only. If you prefer to be a YouTube member, let me know. I could try to get both things going at the same time. It's just kind of a lot for me right now when I have 3 jobs plus my little businesses and stuff going on. So Romeo needs some more love and attention. I need to build mouse traps, so I'm gonna end it here. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. When you try to put together a cute outfit for the thumbnail and to show off your new camera, and then you remember that you haven't washed your hair in over a week, that's when the buns come into play.
What you doing, bud? Huh?